The shocking truth about pet ownership costs. In Australia, the annual cost of owning a pet like a dog or cat can range from $1,715 to $3,218, depending on the type of animal. A recent report indicates that Australians spend roughly $33 billion annually on pets, with an average of over $3,000 per dog and $2,000 per cat. You may have seen some of our other videos about how much certain things cost in Australia versus the US and the UK. So, I thought it would be interesting to do one about pet ownership, because I think this is something that a lot of people don't really think about when they re-getting a pet. They just kind of assume it's going to be relatively cheap, or maybe they haven't done the math. But here are some things that you need to know. So for a dog, the one-off costs are things like the initial purchase price, which could be anywhere from $0. If you re-adopting a dog from a shelter to several $1,000s if you re-buying a purebred puppy from a breeder. Then there's things like the cost of a collar, leash, bed, toys, grooming supplies, and so on. And these can vary greatly depending on what you buy and where you buy it. But let's just say for a one-off cost, you're looking at spending at least a few $100s up to a couple $1,000s. Now for ongoing costs, food and water bowls are pretty cheap, and these can last for many years, so we won't factor that into the ongoing costs. But things like dog food, you'll probably be spending at least $50 a month on dog food, and again, this can vary greatly depending on the size of your dog and their dietary needs. Then there is things like vet bills, and you should be setting aside at least $300 a year for vet checkups, vaccinations, and so on. And this is assuming that your dog doesn't have any major health issues. If they do, you could be spending a lot more than that. And this is just for routine stuff. If you need to take your dog to the emergency vet, that's going to cost you a lot more. And then there's things like dog walking and doggy daycare. Now if you're lucky enough to live near a dog park, then your dog can socialize with other dogs and get exercise without you having to pay for it. But if you don't have a dog park nearby, or you can't take your dog for a walk every day, then you might have to pay for dog walking services or doggy daycare, and this can cost you at least $20 a day. So overall, you should be budgeting at least $100 a month for dog ownership. And again, this is just an estimate. It could be a lot more. So before you get a dog, make sure you do the math and make sure you can afford it. Otherwise, you might be in for a big surprise. Factors that influence the cost include breed, size, food choices, and whether the pet requires specialized care, such as grooming or medication. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget, click like and subscribe.